We tried. But we are live on Facebook. So for anybody joining, this is Kayleigh, and we are here to chat about mindset and motherhood. I am so
Awesome.
excited to get to chat with you today for a little quick chat. Well, we've got
Yeah.
a little tiny person joining us.
Thanks for inviting me. I'm excited. My tiny people are not they're downstairs.
But I did want to ask you, Kayleigh, what has been kind of your biggest takeaway while growing your mindset as a mom?
That's a great question. So when I was 6 months pregnant with my first, I invested in my first like mindset coach, like elite mindset coach. And my biggest takeaway before my son was born actually was how much. So I was a classic A-type personality who had a lot of anxiety and suffered from depression. So there's a little bit of my background. So I had a lot of fear around having a child because it meant that I had to let go of control. And that was not something that I did very well. It actually caused me a lot of anxiety. And the biggest thing before I had my son was learning how to let go of control through my controlled thinking, like being able to basically shift my thought patterns, change my unconscious programming of having that need to control everything all of the time, and being able to release that idea and belief also in turn allowed me to release anxiety. So I actually went into motherhood with confidence, um and it was just a really beautiful experience because that's not the first 6 months of my pregnancy. I had a lot of, what is it going to look like? How am I going to keep this little thing alive? Like all of those things. And but when it actually happened, it was just this like deep knowing that like I got this. And from there, my biggest takeaway, like now my son he's 3.5. Well, more than 3.5, actually. He's going to be 4. And that's a whole other story. We can talk about what's going on with my son. And I have a 16-month-old daughter. And my biggest gift is that I get to give them the gift of the lessons that I've learned through mindset. So giving them confidence, giving them the ability to make their own choices, to dream big, to remove fear from their life, to go after their dreams. They see me going after mine, right? And the energy in my home is so different than it used to be, or than it would have been if I hadn't gotten into mindset. And it's just like, it's changed my entire life. It's probably saved my family and my marriage. Just to name a few little things.
Yeah, that is huge right there. And our stories are so similar in that sense of just how much learning this mindset like can just shift everything. You think you're doing it for like one thing, but it's actually like helping every single area of your life, which is crazy. And like I think as a mom, it's so important to learn these lessons because it's like we're given these tiny humans for a reason, and they're gonna pull something out of you that you're meant to learn. So if you don't learn that lesson, then you end up kind of going through life and not really understanding what that was for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I heard my mentor say once, and it really stuck with me, and it was really impactful. And it was just my awareness of like how my growth and my changing and my eliminating my own limiting beliefs is going to impact my family. And he said, what you don't fix, your children will inherit. And it was like this light bulb moment. Like me working towards being the best version of myself is like, that's a legacy building thing, because now my children can work towards being the best version of themselves because they're because of that awareness. Right. And I never blame, or, with certain things, I know where certain paradigms of mine come from. And it's like knowing and accepting that we're always doing the best that we can with what we have, but why not just get better? Because we're getting better for us and we're getting better for our children, right?
Yes. Yeah, that's a huge one, is understanding and actually like hearing that when your mentor was to say that what you don't fix, your children will inherit. And that's huge, because like there's no blame to sit in what we maybe inherited from our parents, but in this life, as now we are parents, we can change so much of that and change that for our kids.
Yeah, it's kind of, I feel like it's, with this awareness, it's my responsibility as a mother, right? Like without the awareness, you're not aware of it, so it wouldn't be your responsibility because you are only doing the best you can do with what you have. But with this awareness, like that's a huge thing. And it's not like, it's not this like heavy responsibility. It's like, it's an empowering one, you know?
Yeah, for sure. On with the scissor. Yeah, what else have you learned now? Like, because you learn something new at each kind of stage as your kids grow. What has kind of been your newest takeaway? And I know we can get into on another topic of what's going on with your son, but I know there's probably so much learning there that has come out through this journey.
Yeah, actually, that's, I think, what I think would be a really powerful message is so my son, he was diagnosed with leukemia when he was 2, just before his 3rd birthday. So that was last August. And I had a 6-month-old at the time. So to say that like life, you know, got really heavy and a lot of things were happening at the same time is an understatement. It was like such an emotional impact, such an intense time. But because of this work, because of the mindset and the work, the inner work that I've done, I've never lost faith. And I've been able to really focus my mind on gratitude and positivity and faith and healing and seeing him as I want to see him. Like, no matter when he's lost his hair twice or he has an NG tube, then that's something that that's our kind of one of our next milestones is to get that thing out. And we're working towards it. But all of those things, like, I don't see that. I see him in perfect health. And it's really like, I think the most profound thing, and it's kind of my mission now, it's become my mission, is to not allow your circumstance to dictate what you think, feel, or can achieve. And through this process with my son, it's just deepened my drive to share this information with other people, especially moms, because of how much this has helped me. Like, through this whole journey with my son, like my relationships are stronger. And I know a lot of relationships suffer through adversity. Well, mine strengthen. My faith is stronger. My self-discipline is stronger. My presence with my children is stronger. Like, it's just impacted every area of life. And I mean, to top it off, my income has gone up too. Like, I've achieved professionally, I've achieved a quantum leap professionally, but also personally in my life because of this information. And it really drives me to really show people the power of when we learn how to see outside of our circumstances. We are taught to see with our 5 senses, like see everything with our 5, see, smell, taste, touch, feel, right? So we think that what our 5 senses tell us is what is, but the truth is it isn't, it's more than that. And being able to go beyond my circumstances and my situation, and still stay elevated has just been like, it's been incredible. So my kind of those learnings through mindset and what I've experienced over the past 10 months has really like, it's changed my entire life, and it's changed my family's life. So what I shared about kind of my beginning journey, and now it just, even with what my family's going through with my son, he's still undergoing chemotherapy. He's almost at this next stage, which is another big milestone. But he's had 10 months of really intensive chemotherapy, and we've only continued to expand because of this work. So it's just like, I can't preach this enough, because you don't know when it's like my word for 2022 was impact. And because I wanted to impact a lot of people. Chels and I are, we're both mindset coaches. We have like this, like I'm sharing with you, like this huge impact to make. But what I didn't realize, what had actually happened, was my mindset work prepared me for impact. So when I had this, very traumatic incident happen in my family's life, I was mentally, emotionally, and spiritually prepared to handle it.
Yeah, I love that you were able to tie those two together, that you thought your impact was going to be in the mindset space and helping others, but the universe had a much different plan for you, and that you're able to correlate that and go into it so positively. I remember you telling me your story for the first time, and that's when I was just like, holy cow, like just full chill.
Yeah.
That you were able to.
If I don't know where me and my family would be if it wasn't like, if we were going through this circumstance without all of the inner work that I'd done. I have no idea. I would be a mess. Like I would be, anxiety, depression would have probably taken over. I don't know how my marriage would be doing. Like, I don't know. I would probably be reacting to every situation, losing my cool with my children all the time. And I'm very calm, like very calm, 99.9% of the time. Maybe more like 90% of the time, but there are those moments, but it would be the other way around, right? And I think that's really the biggest gift, because everything's energy. So the energy you bring into your house, it also, you can see it through your children. Like my son, he always has a smile on his face, and he always has just this super positive demeanor. He's everyone's favorite at the hospital. Like they love seeing him, even though they wish he wasn't there. They love seeing him. And I know through this work, it's because of the energy, and it's because of the mindset work. And I use affirmations and gratitude with my children. My kids are 3 and 16 months, so it's a work in progress, but I've been doing that since they were born because of this awareness. And I know that is impacting how he is handling this situation for a 3-year-old.
Yeah, no, that's huge. And it's cool that you get to pass that along, because you can hold that vision for him, because he doesn't quite understand how to do that yet.
Yeah.
But
Exactly.
yeah, no,
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah.
It's so cool that we get that opportunity.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on and sharing. It's so great to get to know you better and to hear more about your story and share that with other people, because that's a huge, huge awareness.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. And anyone who's watching this, Chels can help you. Like we teach the same work, and it's really about changing those unconscious programs, because that's what changed my life. And I'm no different than any other mom watching this today. I just made a decision, to take a huge leap of faith, and I've never looked back. And I know you won't either.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, thank you, Kayleigh.
Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye-bye.